Yoga means union. Union. It's a union with all of existence and knowing I am everywhere and everything. People forget like the purpose of the yoga, and they come to the class and they just do exercises and they think, wow, I'm looking good now. But that's not it. That's not it. It's the last stage of yoga is union. They call it samadhi. Samadhi, unification with all the, it's the deep meditation where you and I are gone. We are one. That which you are meditating on is you, and you are that. You cannot feel the difference between you and me. There's no such thing as duality. So that's the point of yoga. Although it is nice to look good and get in shape and have muscles and be able to stretch, and that's great. But then what next? This body sooner or later will turn into dust, right? Guaranteed. So then what are we doing here? Is it just to play with the dust? Play in a big playground and have some fun and then continue on to the next lifetime and just over and over. The Buddha calls it the wheel of samsara. You ever heard that term?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the wheel of samsara. You live this lifetime and you have all these desires and you get, I love coffee, I love drugs, I love sex, I love this, I love that. And then what happens? Those energies go with you. And you get incarnated into a body again because you love those things so much, right? God gives you what you like. Go ahead, try it again. Over ad nauseum, it's like that rat on the wheel that just keeps repeating. We've already done all of this. I've already been with all of you guys in the past, in other lifetimes, doing the same thing. In this case, we're asking you to wake up out of this dream. This is a wake-up call. This gathering. A wake up to your own soul. And soul is very difficult to describe. You want to hear something really fascinating? So there are these 4 major books in India called the Vedas. Huge books. I tried to read them once. I was too overwhelmed. I can't handle it. It's too much. My head was spinning after reading the first page because the mantras are so deep. You have to be enlightened just to understand the books. It's true. It's true. The Vedas. So maybe not read those books. Those are, they'll overwhelm you. So, and the amazing thing is they're so deep, and then you read through the 4 books, right? And at the very end, this sort of the highest knowledge on earth regarding spirituality, right? The oldest spiritual tradition in the world, from whence all other religions and spiritual traditions come from, these 4 Vedas. And at the end, there's just 2 words, neti, neti. Not this, not this. So everything that I just expounded to you in these tomes, even that is not it. You are beyond. It's deep, right? So this gathering is more of a feeling rather than an informational session. When you are connected into the energy and you're meditating on it, it can open up the whole universe in you, and all the knowledge can dawn upon your mind. And you don't have to read a single book. It's like, oh man, I just read 1,000 spiritual books last year, and you mean that was for nothing? Darn it. I'm not saying it's for nothing, but I mean, there are many people who read and read and read and become very knowledgeable about spiritual concepts, and yet they know nothing. Spiritually speaking, you know what I mean? They're not having a direct spiritual experience. They're not in that state. They know plenty. They've got much mind stuff. But, I would call that more like just a philosopher. Dry. To me, like dead wood. Compared to when your heart opens and you feel the love and the bliss overwhelming you. You can't even stand up. Now that is something. I would rather have that than know and memorize 10,000 books on spirituality.